Good morning, students. So last class we have discussed about mode 1 timer mode 1 programming. And also I have explained the algorithm involved in mode 1 programming. So for time delay calculation, this is the formula to calculate your time delay for your 8051 microcontroller. In case of hexadecimal, you have to subtract the initial value of timer from the maximum value of your timer modes. Suppose in case of 8-bit auto reload, so this value can be FF. In case of 13-bit timer mode, this value can be 1FFF. So subtract this initial value from the maximum value of your timer and add with 1 and multiply that value with 1.085 microsecond. Suppose in case of decimal, you have to subtract the initial value of timer from 65536. This is the maximum value of your timer mode 1 operation. Multiply that value by 1.085 microsecond. Okay. So we have discussed some example. So coming into the next example, so find out the time delay period for this particular application. So this program generates a square wave on pin 1.5 using timer 1. Okay, your frequency 11.0592 megahertz. So first your T mod value is calculated. So that value is loaded into T mod and initial value 3476. That is your lower order register holds 34. TH1, TL1. Okay. So 3476. So this will be your initial value, and after that timer gets started. So this instruction is used to monitor your overflow flag. Once the overflow flag is set to 1, stop the timer, and this instruction is used to toggle your port 1.5. High to low, low to high. Okay. And clear the overflow flag and repeat the same operation. Okay. So calculate the time period for this application, square wave generation. So using this formula, so you subtract the initial value from the maximum value of the timer and multiply that value with 1.085 microsecond. First, you convert this value, that is 7634 into decimal, okay? And the converted value should be subtracted from 65536. What is the answer? .66 millisecond. So have you completed, other students? First, you convert the initial value of timer into, that is, convert the hexadecimal value into decimal and subtract that value from the maximum value of timer 65536, and after that you multiply that value by 1.085 microsecond. So have you all completed? Please post your answers in the chat box. So this value, all of you getting this value, 655,666 millisecond. All of you getting the same value? Yes or no? $38.274. Here 65.66. So there is a difference, the calculation. 7634, okay, 7634 plus 1, 3526. So which one is correct? Please tell me. $38.27 millisecond coming, ma'am. That is the correct answer. Bala Meenakshi and Manushree, please check your answers. Subtract first in hexadecimal mode, subtract 7634 minus, that is 7634 89 CB, okay, add 1 89 CC, convert that value into hexa 35276. So this much amount of clock pulses are required to reach the maximum value. So this is for only half period, not full period, that is entire on and off period, full cycle. So 35276 into 1.085 microsecond. So multiply that value by 1.085 second, you will be getting 38.274 millisecond. Okay, this is for either on period or off period. For full cycle, you multiply this value by 2. So 76.548 millisecond, and convert that value into frequency. So your square wave frequency is 13.064. So the objective is here, this program is going to generate square wave on P1.5. Okay, the square wave frequency is 13.064 Hertz. So able to follow the calculation, students? Are you able to follow? So the frequency 13.064 Hertz. So any doubts regarding the calculation? So in the previously discussed problems, so already we know the initial value of the timer. Based on the initial value, we have calculated the delay. Okay, but this one is the second case. We know the desired delay. Based on that, we have to calculate the higher order and lower order register initial value. Okay. So general formula, please note down the formula. Your timer delay is equal to maximum value of your timer minus your initial value into 1.085 microsecond. So in previous problems, we have incorporated this formula to calculate the delay, timer delay. That is your maximum value of the timer in case of 16-bit FFF. So otherwise 65536. In case of 8-bit, 256. In case of 13-bit, 8192. Okay, so this is the formula. Here, the previous problems, we know the initial value. Okay, based on that, we have calculate the delay. Here, delay is known. We need to calculate the initial value. Just you reverse the formula. So the formula is to calculate the initial value is equal to your maximum value of the timer minus delay divided by 1.085 microseconds. So delay is known, okay? So based on the delay, we have to calculate the initial value of the time. So that case, we have to use this formula, okay? So here, divide the delay. Suppose if the delay time period is 1 millisecond. So 1 millisecond divided by 1.085 microsecond. First you calculate this one and subtract this value from the maximum value of the timer. In case of mode 1, the maximum value is 65536. So 65536 minus this value, and after that we will be getting your higher order and lower order register value. So we have to load the value into LSB and MSB. Please note down the formula. And next, we will see about the maximum delay generated by each mode. Suppose in case of mode 0, so what is the maximum value? 8192. So the maximum minus minimum, 8192 minus 0, multiply that value with multiply this value by 1.085 microsecond. So the maximum delay will be generated by mode 0 is 8.8 microsecond. Okay, so your timer overflow flag would be set in 8.8 millisecond if the initial value is 0. So when timer gets started, the initial value of the timer is 0 and it will start counting the clock pulses, and after reaching the clock pulse, your overflow flag is set to 1. Okay, so the initial value of timer is subtracted from the maximum value and multiply that value by 1.085 microsecond. So the maximum amount of delay will be generated by mode 0 is 8.8 millisecond. Please note down this value. So significance of this value is that is your timer overflow flag would be set in 8.8 millisecond if your initial value is 0. In case of mode 1, 65536 minus initial value, let's assume initial value is 0. So 65536 into 1.085 microsecond. The maximum time delay will be generated by mode 1 is 71.16 millisecond. Similarly, for 8-bit timer, 256 minus 0 into 1.085 microsecond, the maximum delay will be generated by mode 2 0.277 millisecond. So most of the application we are using mode 1. So it will generate more amount of delay compared to other modes. So the problem given is calculate a value of your higher order timer register and lower order timer register for generation of 5 millisecond delay. Actually, the 5 millisecond delay is a known value. So based on this delay time period, we have to calculate your higher order register value and lower order register value. Okay. So first what we will do is, first you divide this 5 millisecond by 1.085 microsecond. Okay. So one count, that is one clock pulse count, is equal to 1.085 microsecond. Okay. And how many counts is equal to 5 millisecond, that we have to calculate. So divide this 5 millisecond divided by 1.085 microsecond. So you will be getting 4608. So here, according to this formula, your number of count is directly proportional to delay. So it's directly proportional to delay. So more number of counts, there will be more amount of delay. So that is the concept. So more number of count value, that will generate more amount of time delay. So first you divide this 5 millisecond divided by 1.085 microsecond, you will be getting 4608 clock cycles. So this much amount of clock cycles are required in order to generate 5 millisecond delay. So that is the meaning, clock cycles. So this much amount of clock ticks are required when the timer, that is a timer, to reach the maximum value. Okay. So after finding this value, subtract the 4608 from 65536. So your value is 60928. Convert that value into X EE00. So you have to load that EE00 into higher order and lower order register. So once timer gets started, start counting the clock pulses till it reaches the maximum value, 4 Fs. So this is the formula. Suppose if it is a timer mode, this will be 256 minus timer delay divided by 1.085 microsecond. If it is 13-bit timer mode, 8192 minus timer generated delay divided by 1.085 microsecond. Please note down the problem statement. So your microcontroller frequency 11.0592 megahertz. Write a program to generate a square wave of 50 hertz frequency on pin P2.3. Okay. So here you convert that 50 hertz into time period. That is the first step. Please note down the step. Convert 50 hertz into time period. 1 divided by 50. So what is the answer? 1 divided by 50 hertz. What is the answer? (20 milliseconds). Okay. So this 20 millisecond included with your on time and off time. So you divide this time period into 10 millisecond plus 10 millisecond. Okay. So here delay value is known. So consider 10 millisecond and divide the 10 millisecond by 1.085 microsecond and subtract this value from 65536. So find out the value. So 20 millisecond. So you convert that value into hex because the hexadecimal value should be loaded into higher order and lower order register. I think DC00 is correct answer. DC00, 10 millisecond divided by 1.085 microsecond, 9216. Okay, subtract that value from the maximum value 65536 and convert this into hex. DC00. 56320. Okay. Venkatramani got the right answer. Bala Meenakshi and Vasanta Mallika. Alauddin, please check your answers. So the calculation is simple, okay? The delay value is already known, okay? Divide the delay value by 1.085 microsecond, okay? You will be getting some value. Subtract that value from the maximum value of your timer. For example, I have considered mode 1, that is 16-bit timer. So the maximum value of 16-bit timer 65536. So subtract that value from 65536 and convert your answer into hexadecimal. That's all. So just the reverse process. In previous example, just we are subtracting the initial value from the maximum value and multiply that value by 1.085 microsecond. Just reverse operation of the delay calculation. So all of you getting the answer? Students, please respond. Okay. So write applications, assembly language program for this particular application. So we have calculated timer initial value. So find out T mod value, load your initial value of timer into TH1 and TL1. Okay. So what is the next step? Start your timer, monitor your overflow flag and complement your P2.3. So once your overflow flag is set to 1, stop the timer, clear the overflow flag. So write an assembly code to generate square wave of 50 Hertz frequency on pin P2.3. if you have completed, post your code in the chat box. Completed. So what is T mod value? What is T mod value? So you have to use timer 1. Timer 1, mode 1. What is the answer? Well, timer 1 Bala Meenakshi. So 1 0. T mod value is 1 0. Lower order 0 0. Higher order DC. Complement 2.3. Start the timer. Jump orbit. Okay. Correct. Code is correct, Bala Meenakshi. See, first timer 1 in mode 1. So find out the T mod value, load that value into T mod. An initial value of timer DC 00. So load this 00 into timer 1 lower order register and DC into higher order register. Start timer. So after that, here you can either you can include this complement 2.3 here, otherwise here. So both are same only. After starting the timer, you monitor the overflow flag and stop the timer, complement P2.3 and clear overflow flag, and again repeat the operation. So mode 1 is not auto reload. So every time you have to reload the values, initial value of your timer in order to generate continuous square wave. Okay. Is that clear? Students, any doubts regarding this problem? Is that clear? Are you able to follow? Please tell me. Only some of the students are responding. Okay, let's execute this code in Kale Microvision to check our delay time period. Okay, so what is the delay here? So your frequency is 50 hertz frequency. Okay. So port 2 is involved, that is port 2.3. So in logic analyzer, you have to give. So first I will delete this. P2.3. And logic level, suppose if we are using complete port, we have to give 00 to FF. Suppose we are accessing individual port pins, you have to give 0 to 1. Okay. So here timer 1 is involved. Let's close this one. P2. Okay. And timer 1. Let's execute this. One second. So you have to give 1, otherwise you will not get the output. So here 16-bit timer in that is timer 1 in 16-bit timer mode, and T mod value 10 and initial value of timer DC00. Okay. So square wave is being continuously generated at P2.3. Let's measure the frequency. Just you stop the waveform and place the cursor here. So the frequency is around 53.49 Hertz. So time period is, instead of 20, here we are getting 18.695 millisecond. Okay. For tracing the time period, you have to enable this one and place it here, and again you place your cursor here. So 53 point I am getting here, 18.4 milliseconds. It's approximate calculation. Any doubts? So next, generate a large time delay. So according to this calculation, the maximum time delay will be generated by mode 0 is 8.8 millisecond. In mode 1, 71.1 millisecond. In mode 2, 0.277 millisecond. Suppose if we want to generate 1 second delay. So that case, we have another method to generate a large time delay. So your timer register, 16-bit register, can hold only 16-bit value. Suppose your time delay value exceeds the 16-bit case. For that case, we have to repeat the time delay loop by using count registers. Okay. So I will explain this example. So already we have calculated the time delay for 5 milliseconds. Okay. So here calculate a value of higher order and lower order register for generation of 1 second delay. So we have seen that in timer 16-bit timer mode, the maximum delay you can generate is 71.16. Okay. .16 millisecond maximum, but our requirement is 1 second. So that case you have to divide this 1 second delay into two numbers, that is 200 into 5 milliseconds. So this is equal to 1 second. Okay, so I am dividing this into 2, that is 200 into 5 millisecond is going to be 1 second. So already we have calculated a time delay for 5 millisecond in this calculation. So the initial value EE0. Okay. So for this one, EE0. So the procedure here is, we have to repeat the timer operation for 200 times. That is, if I make 5 millisecond delay in a loop 200 times, it will generate 1 second delay. So that is the concept So you have to repeat the operation how many times? 200 times. So this value will generate 5 millisecond delay. Again, you are repeating the operation by 200. So 5 millisecond into 200 will generate 1 second. So repeat the operation in a 200 iteration. So that is the meaning. Okay. So 5 millisecond delay in a loop. The loop should be executed 200 iteration. So that will generate 1 second delay. So this is the one way of generating delay for larger values. So just you analyze this code and find out the answer. So observe the following program and find the time delay in seconds. So initial value of your timer 0108. So how many iterations the loop will get executed? 200 times. First you calculate the time delay for this initial value of timer. Zero one zero eight. So convert that value into decimal and subtract that value from 65536. Multiply with 1.085 microsecond to find out the time delay. And multiply that time delay by 200 times. Completed. So 0108 decimal equivalent 264. Okay. Subtract that 264 from 65536. 65272. Okay. So multiply that value by 1.085 microsecond. What is the value? 70.820 millisecond. Okay. How many times the loop gets executed? 200 times. So 200 into 70.820 millisecond. So this particular program will generate 14 seconds delay. So using timers, we can generate large amount of delay also. So that is the important point involved in this exam. All of you getting this answer? Yes or no? 14.16. Okay. Remaining students, please note down the answer. So most of the real-time application, we are using this logic in order to generate large value of large amount of delay, time delay. So here 200 is loaded and these instructions get executed 200 times using decrement jump no zero instruction. So that is the concept. So every time R3 value will be decremented and it will repeat the loop again and again until your R3 becomes 0. So next class we will see about the remaining modes, that is your mode 0 and mode 2. Okay. So up to this, any doubts? In mode 1 programming, do you have any doubts? So your programming concepts for other modes, that is mode 0 and mode 2, similar to your mode 1 programming with some difference. In case of 8-bit auto reload, there is no need of reloading the initial values. In case of 13-bit timer, your 16-bit value is divided into 5-bit and 8-bit. Okay, I will explain that in the next class. Any other doubts? Okay, thank you. Thank you.